I'm talking about what has happened in the last 2 years.
And that can lead to pilot error.
That is the crashes that have happened. Whether you're talking about Dana, whether you're talking about the last one, that pilot, they had to do with human beings. So when we are looking at things, people as aircraft, they didn't fall off our skies. When I mean they didn't fall off our skies, it's not because of air traffic control or airspace management, it's not because of weather. It is the human beings and the airlines, the organization processes within the airlines and the human beings that operate the airlines. So pilot error, look at two of them, is the same thing. So when people start blaming, ACA, or blame the minister, or blame whatever, it's wrong.
Don't the regulators have a role to play in monitoring?
The regulators have a role to play. The airlines and the regulators, they have roles to play in that. But that's the area that so far has been hidden from the regulators. I say hidden.
Why is it? The regulator is not doing his job effectively. If that his job of monitoring, if that area is consistently hidden.
Yeah, I agree. That's why the regulator is the first focus should be on the regulator. It's not a policy. It's not a policy issue. First area on the regulator, and then on the airlines. Airlines tell a lot of lies to NCAA. If you know the lies, the records that are not put out there before the NCAA is not going to be, is not omnipotent. So it's a question of relationship, the airline saying this is our responsibility, and NCAA knowing their responsibility. But NCAA as a regulator will have more blame.
Exactly, but you say those blaming them are wrong.
No, those blaming like the ministry or whatever. It's not a policy thing at all. Let's get, if anything is happening to the airspace, the management, and it's not because the equipment is not there, then you blame the manager of the airspace.
You know, for a host of people, at the end of the day, we can have all the business that we want. If at the end of the day, for them, they don't have the confidence to fly, then all the business of landing becomes rubbish. And I think that is what is paramount at this point to many Nigerian flyers who are looking at accidents that have happened in the recent past and are wondering what is going to change in the future. You are very concerned about the opportunities that have been open and how that is going to continue, but are you also worried about that safety part of it?
So, safety is usually the first concern. If there's no safety, I won't fly. Okay? And people will not fly. But today I understand that the issue of safety has moved away from weather, from airspace management, is moved back to the airlines. It's moved to the airlines, and so I choose the airlines that I fly. You understand what I'm saying? It's moved back to the airlines. I choose the airlines that I fly. Okay, so that is that. So that is the area we should go to. We should look at the human beings.
Also maintain that you cannot see on the faces the aircraft. That crashed, 153, there's 58 passengers lost their lives. It was reputed to be one of the safest airlines. A lot of people loved them and they flew them, for many reasons.
In terms of services.
In terms of services, but some people also mentioned safety. They had a pretty clean record before that time.
To the extent that they knew. To the extent that they knew. But you're talking about services. Ghana was excellent in terms of services it provided. Okay, but when you now find to the fact that the movement has gone to the individual, that pilot that flew that aircraft that they should not have flown, the aircraft should not, under all circumstances. He was going on leave that same night. He was going to travel that same night. What was uppermost in his mind is to arrive and take his flight, going out to begin his holidays. So whatever happens, he needed to land in Lagos. When the first engine went off, he should have observed the standard global regulation, go to the nearest airport. Either you make a air return or you go to the nearest airport and land. But he was determined to get to Lagos. He could get to Lagos and land. These are the processes. So when you talk about safety, equipment can be okay, but the individuals, the processes that you look at. So in this country, we should move our focus to the airlines and to the human beings who are operating it. And that's where NCAA, why they keep their focus on the equipment. A lot has happened. Many airlines today won't play around with the aircraft.
Okay.
Okay, but the individuals, their processes, that's what NCAA should focus on, because that's where the two accidents that happened came from that section.
Okay, Chris Aligbe is an aviation expert. Thank you for coming on this morning. And I hope we'll try and choose the one we fly to, so that we will also be careful. We're back after this break. Join us again. I was going to read this email talking about scarcity of kerosene. He says it's drug control. Okay. Well, it says, I reside in Abuja, and I've always bought kerosene at 130 naira per litre. The product is not even available in NNPC gas stations here. You'll find long queues of gallons for days, weeks, and even months waiting to buy kerosene at 50 naira per litre. How do you expect the poor man who can't afford to buy kero at 130 naira per litre, or even afford the use of gas, to survive? He says this is sad.
This one's about security. If the governor of Borno State says Boko Haram are more motivated, one wonders who and what is motivating them. A sect shouldn't be more powerful than a nation, except they have the most powerful politicians backing them. That's from Kayode.
Then we have tweets here. Amelia Shewon says, if the current approach at combating insurgents isn't effective, other options should be applied.
And that's it today on the program. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Thank you so much. I'm Malkwe Ugu.
Thank you. I'm Melta Igwe.
Bye now.